This is me taking you way, way back to when I was in school. Just because it's an old method doesn't mean it's a bad method. These are called index cards, also known as recipe cards. And they are just little rectangular pieces of paper. They're a little heavier than regular paper, and they're great for using to help you study. The trick for studying is I don't want you just rewriting or rereading things. I want you actually testing yourself. And these provide a great way to test yourself. They're great to use with a family member or a friend. And here's how you use them. You start with a card. I like to put the actual term on the back because it usually doesn't have as many words. And that means that I don't need to worry about the lines. And then I'm going to put the definition on the front. So I'll go through my notes. So this happens to be a note that we have from earlier this month. And it's got some new terms on, including down here at the bottom, trophic cascade. So I'll write the word trophic cascade on this side. And then I'll flip it over. And a trophic cascade, now if I read the note, it says a trophic cascade is a change in the energy pyramid near the top, which causes changes all the way down, even changing some of the abiotic components. Some examples are things like wolves changing rivers and whales changing the climate. We saw videos on those ones. So I'm going to try and do my best to write that definition without actually copying it. So a trophic cascade, that is when something changes, when a species is changed, near the top of the food chain, the change affects the other species down the food chain and even changes non-living things example, wolves changing rivers. Now, I'm not going to take a long time and make a bunch of different cards for you, but I would have that card, and then on my next card, I would maybe do abiotic, and on the back, I would write down the definition of it is the things in the ecosystem that are non-living and never were. So I'm adding in that extra little bit here because a lot of people think that a dead tree is now abiotic. It's not. It's still considered part of the biotic realm, but it's died. The abiotic tends to talk about things like temperature. Let's put some examples down. Example, temperature, sunlight, water. All right, cool. Awesome. So we're going to make all these cue cards, and you'd make a whole bunch of them, and then you would take them, you'd look at the front, and you go trophic cascade. Okay, what do I think a trophic cascade is? I think a trophic cascade is a change near the top of the energy pyramid, and it causes changes in the species below it, and then below them, and then below them, all the way down, so that finally it changes something that was never alive in the first place. And I can look at that, and now I want to make sure what I said actually jives with this. I know it's not the exact same wording, and that's okay. I just want to make sure that the meaning is kind of the same. And if I felt that I did that well, then I'm going to put it in a pile over here and say, okay, I can skip studying those anymore today. And if I got abiotic wrong, I'd put it in another pile here. And once I've gone through all my terms, I would pick up this pile over here that I got wrong. I'd shuffle them all up, and then I'd try and go through them again, always checking my answer after I say it. Okay, and that's it. That is how I would use cue cards. I hope this helps. Thanks.